Hello and welcome to On the Wrist. Today we have the My Way model from the Frank Sinatra collection by Bulova. This is a beautiful sort of vintage style watch with the Frank Sinatra name attached to it, wonderful dial details, really cool case shape, curved rectangular design, really beautiful watch. This is a full technical review of the watch as well as a design review. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get started, I do want to clarify that this is a watch I bought as a gift for my friend's wedding. I'm a groomsman for my friend Sebastian, and he wanted to buy his best man a watch as a gift. He knew I was very much into watches, so we went off to look at different watches to see what we could get him. When we were looking around at watches, he settled on another Bulova for his best man, but Sebastian saw this watch, picked it up, and fell in love with it. He said that, "Wow, I really wish I could buy this at the same time. I'm definitely coming back to buy this after the wedding." Little did he know, I then reached out to the best man, asked him if he would go 50-50 on a gift with me, and got Sebastian this watch as a gift from the best man and me. So congratulations to Sebastian and Elizabeth. You're two amazing people. We all love you, and we wish you the best of luck in this next phase of life. So if we start off with the design details, let's start off with the Frank Sinatra specific details. So first off, you'll notice on the dial there that there is the Sinatra signature right under the Bulova branding. On the gold style crown, there is his classic fedora. And of course, on the back, there's the My Way featured prominently, and some of the technical details about the watch. Coming back to the front of the watch, the case is this nice rectangular design. It does have a beautiful curve to it, with the sapphire crystal being curved, and I also love how angular the sides are. Really sharp distinction in different sections between the lugs and the case. Really makes it shine, and it's a beautiful mirror polish reflecting that light so nicely. Coming onto the dial, I really enjoy how it has this vertical gray grain, a very striking dial, especially with the gold hands indices, pops so nicely. The white text with the white outer rectangle indicating each of the minutes is a nice touch too, really pops and gives good contrast between the dial, the text, and the hands and indices. I'm also a big fan of the small second subdial. Because it doesn't indicate individual seconds, it only hits the 5-second mark, the second hand hits perfectly all the way around the dial, which is one of my potential biggest complaints about quartz watches. But because this only marks the 5-second marks, this movement is dead on for all the markers. What's also kind of a funny little detail is, to me, the sub-second dial looks like a record, so it almost looks like a Frank Sinatra record as opposed to just a regular second subdial. The strap is this really nice textured gray color, works very well with the color set of the watch, and you come down to the actually deployant clasp on the leather. I love when brands do this. It makes it so easy to get a great fit, and it's really quick to take on and off with a very satisfying click. I think it also elevates the watch because not that many watches with leather bands have these kinds of clasps. On the strap, you can see one is Bulova and the other has My Way actually in the strap. Really nice detail for the watch, and just another aspect that makes this watch unique and makes the Sinatra collection stand out. Let's talk technical specs. Technical specs will pull up on the left. So the case width is 29.5 millimeters, fairly small, but the lug to lug is approximately 47 millimeters. The thickness is about 12 millimeters thick. I can't find this information on the internet, but it is fairly compact. The water resistance is only 30 meters, but the crystal is a curved sapphire crystal. Movement is the 1L45, which has an accuracy of plus or minus 15 seconds per month and is a quartz movement. There is no notable lume on this watch, as it is kind of more of a dress watch. But let's now get a couple shots on the wrist. So here we have it on my 7.5-inch wrist. So I think because it's a rectangular watch, the width of 29.5 gets kind of washed out by the fact that it's 47 millimeters wide. I think it looks really good on my size wrist. The person who this is ultimately intended for has a smaller wrist than mine, probably about 6.5 inches. And because it has that shorter case width, it's actually a good fit for him even with a much smaller wrist. The strap is very comfortable and the deployant clasp element is excellent, easy to get a good fit, and just is such a nice additional feature. I really enjoy how the watch catches the light with that vertical grain, and the gold stands out so nicely. Overall, a very classy watch with some very solid style. So let's talk MSRP and value. MSRP of this watch is $550 US. I actually picked this up on eBay new with tags for closer to $300. Now, I think the MSRP for that, you get curved sapphire crystal, Bulova heritage, really cool aesthetic design, solid quality, but for me, $550 for a quartz watch is quite a lot. I think the $300 I got it for on eBay, and it's still new with tags, I think that is a pretty reasonable deal for this watch. Very on point with specs and style versus price, but I think the $550 is reaching. However, if you buy it from Bulova directly, you do get a nicer commemorative box. This watch has some great style, solid specs, and I think for the $300-ish price range, it's right on point. For $550, you're starting to push it, but because Bulova is a brand you can get at like stores like Macy's, you can usually get a pretty solid deal on them come the holiday time. Final thoughts? Well, the most important thing is when the best man and I gave Sebastian this watch, he absolutely loved it. It's something that he really wanted for himself and he really enjoyed it. So as with any watch, that is the most important aspect, that the person wearing it loves the watch. From my point of view, I think this watch has a ton of style as well. I'm a huge fan of the dial and the gold indices. I like the rectangular shape. I like how angular the case is and how it switches it up. So I think this watch is a really great piece that I could see myself wearing, but I'm so happy we were able to give Sebastian a really great gift for his wedding. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about this watch? Do you like the design? Are you a Frank Sinatra fan? Let me know. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Put a comment down below. That's all for me today. This has been On The Wrist. Thank you for watching.